We are the real minimum, and we are focusing on poverty in the UK. We aim to move away from the stigma that blames individuals for living in situations of poverty, and we attempt to analyse how this can be a consequence of institutional injustices. In light of this view, our statistics show that 1 in 8 workers live in poverty, hence underlining that the disparity between minimum and living wage is an instrumental factor in the descent and entrapment into poverty for working individuals and parents. We therefore pose the following question. In a climate where working families are plunged into poverty because the minimum wage is insufficient to cover essential living costs, why is the minimum wage not equal to living wage?
We have created this campaign in order to target the government in an effort to enforce change, to make the minimum wage equal to a real living wage for all age groups. This is only fair considering that many young people face the difficulties of financing childcare and housing. The struggles should not be ignored. At the same time, we hope to raise awareness of the serious consequences of poverty in the UK and to stimulate a discussion about this problem. Our last aim is to break the social stigma. It has been found that most people associate poverty with unemployment, but the truth is that many people face poverty despite being employed, simply because the minimum wage is not sufficient for a good standard of living. This highlights the need for an increase in the minimum wage, making it a real living wage.
We decided our campaign would consist of 3 elements: posters, a social media page, and a public petition. We created 7 posters with different focuses, including detailing the facts of poverty and working poverty in the UK, the scale of child and food poverty caused by low minimum wage, the effects of poverty on mental health, issues with current policymakers, and the need for all ages to be paid the real living wage. To enable us to reach as wide an audience as possible, an Instagram page was also created to share these posters and spread and gain further support for the petition. The petition was created to bring the campaign to the attention of the government and try to encourage them to make this change that we feel is essential.
This poster adopts a satirical approach to highlight the economic inequalities in the UK, which we believe are fundamental because the government is out of touch with the British public.
The key issue being highlighted by the left poster is the fact that the minimum wage of £8.91 is simply not enough to live on, when the real living wage is £9.50 in UK and even higher for London. This shows the need for a change. The minimum wage should be high enough to provide a minimum standard of living. Furthermore, it has been found that the rising share of workers who are being pulled into poverty is preventing high employment rates from lifting people out of poverty due to increasing cost of living. This shows that this major problem needs a solution and needs it now.
The poster on the right highlights the fact that psychological research has shown poverty and mental health to be well linked as a cycle, with living in poverty being found to double the risk of developing depression and making it 8 times more likely to develop schizophrenia. In turn, these and other mental health issues double the likelihood of losing your job and having an unstable income compared to mentally healthy people. These losses of income then worsen the poverty experienced, and the vicious cycle continues and becomes extremely difficult to break. This poster highlights these links and issues to the general public, highlighting the need to reduce poverty and to help them understand the invisible effects that poverty has.
The poster on the left highlights that the increasing cost of childcare is pushing families and children into poverty. The minimum wage is currently so low that families earning it are unable to create a stable financial environment and are struggling to put food on the table.
The poster on the right highlights how the main cause of hunger is a lack of income. Generally, the parent will give their food to their child, as hunger can have a severe impact on physical and mental health.
At least 1.9 million young people work but live in poverty due to many earning a minimum wage that is even further below the real living wage than that of over 23s. These posters highlight the impacts this has on young people, questions whether this is fair, and raises the idea that all people are deserving of a real living wage regardless of their age.
So this is an Instagram page we made to spread awareness of the problem faced by many in the UK and highlight the need for change.
Made and published a petition to show the support for this campaign and to try and bring it to the attention of Parliament. A screenshot of the petition and the link to sign it are shown here.
Throughout the week, we have developed posters that we wish to display around the community. We aim to widen the use of social media platforms and to have ambassadors who will represent the real minimum at Freshers to ensure the campaign is easily accessible. Our main goal is to form a well-established campaign that will be debated in Parliament. Any questions?